In examining the importance of Puritanism in the American founding, I would like to look at the concept of covenants. Mark Noll states that Puritans believe that God always works with people through covenants, or solemn agreements. They believe that the Bible explains the terms and conditions of the covenants through which God approaches the world. There are multiple covenants the Puritans believed in. First up is the individual covenant, the covenant of grace, where Christ's merit is imputed to believers and God counts them righteous. For our understanding of the importance of Puritanism on America, I'd like to look at first the understanding of national covenants, in which nations also have covenants with God. John Winthrop expresses the Puritan understanding of national covenants in his famous sermon, A Model of Christian Charity. This sermon was delivered in 1530 during the ocean voyage to America. As Winthrop states, "Thus stands the cause between God and us. We are entered into covenant with him for this work. We have taken out a commission. The Lord hath given us leave to draw our own articles. We have professed to enterprise these and those accounts upon these and those ends." And here's the big part. "We have hereupon besought him of favor and blessing, that the Lord shall please to hear us, and bring us in peace to the place we desire. Then hath he ratified this covenant and sealed our commission, and will expect a strict performance of the articles contained in it. But if we shall neglect the observation of these articles, which are the ends we have propounded, and dissembling with our God, shall fall to embrace this present world and prosecute our carnal intentions, the Lord will surely break out in wrath against us." This shows the Puritan understanding that God blesses nations which keep his commandments and punishes those which break them. New England thus had laws based on Christian principles, and people were expected to adhere to God's commandments. Winthrop's sermon closed with Moses' exhortation to the Israelites in Deuteronomy 30, "Beloved, there is now set before us life and good, death and evil." So Israelites needed to choose life and not death. Another form of covenant that will become very important in the years leading up to the American Revolution is the Puritan understanding of the covenant between a people and their government. This concept was already in place in Puritan New England in the 17th century and came to be accepted throughout the middle and southern colonies. An example is John Davenport's A Sermon Preached at the Election of the Governor at Boston in New England in 1669. The topic verse for this sermon was 2 Samuel 23:3. "The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me, he that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God." As this sermon states, the main qualification for rulers is that they rule in the fear of God. The other main qualification is that they rule justly in relation to their subjects. Mark Hall puts it this way: "The people promise to obey the king as long as he rules justly. Rulers who are illegitimate, negligent, unjust, or tyrannical break this covenant and forfeit their right to rule." Shown here, two major impacts of Puritan covenant theology on the founding of America are the idea of national covenants, in which a society must adhere to God's commandments, as shown in the laws that were passed in New England, and also the relationship between a people and their government, which influenced the American Revolution when the American colonists believed that the British government was not ruling them justly.